So today is a grain day where I ride over to one of the local business owners and I buy my grain. But I got to thinking, why not do a video on something that maybe you guys have never seen that's commonplace here? And that's our good neighbors, the Amish. So, get this started. Alright, so 30 years ago, they weren't around. I mean, it might have been one here, one there, but what ended up happening was in Ohio and PA, the land prices just started skyrocketing. And, you know, each family would have as many kids as possible. And the idea was, as these kids grew up, that they could step out and get their own farm and start their own family and just keep going that way. And that would... But when land prices went up so terrible, it wasn't feasible for them. And so they started looking in other states. Where can we go and set up and be able to afford a farm? And if you look here on the left, the Amish have their own school for the kids, and they're out on recess. And I believe they go till they're in the 8th grade. And they get summers off to help with haying and the crops. But a lot of these barns that you're looking at right now, you know, we're falling in. That, you know, our industry back 30 years ago was dairy. And just on my road alone, we had over 20 dairy farms, and now we're down to one. The price of milk just bottomed out, and people were working out trying to afford to keep the farm going. But these barns were starting to fall in, you know, and every year you'd see another one collapsed in on themselves. And when the Amish started moving up this way, that was one of the things that I first noticed, is that they do take good care of their buildings. They do have pride in their work. And these folks, they work, you know, from sunrise to sunset. And whatever needs to be done, they get done. I remember this farm here, the fellow was milking close to 80 head of dairy, and he had to sell out because he couldn't afford to stay in. And now all these are Amish buildings that they've come in and have come in and shored them all up and got them looking nice. But we see this every day, so I mean, it's commonplace to us, where maybe it's not so much for you. And I thought that's what would make a nice video, is that you could see what, you know, we deal with up here in the North Country. They travel around with horse and buggy, and as you can see in this one right here, that they're exposed to the weather. You know, whatever the weather is, it's smack dab in their face. If it's raining or sleeting, I've seen them use an umbrella in front of their face just to try to keep the wind and rain down. Again, these places are all Amish. I've used them, a lot of them are good friends, and I've used a lot of them to help with different building projects. Here's another gal coming back from town. And like I say, they take pride in what they do. They're hard workers. They call us English. And most of these that are up here are, I believe, old order. This here is where I get my grain. This business owner employs probably 90% Amish, as far as working with the selling grain to roofing to lumber. Like I say, they're hard workers. Well, here's another one with the buggy, exposed to the weather and so forth. I didn't know if it'd be something that would interest you. You know, that it's commonplace up here, but if there's something that you would like to see that I may be overlooking, you know, write it in the comments. I do respond to the comments, and I do read the comments. This place here on the left is Jonai's. I've bought a lot of lumber off from him. I've used his brothers a lot on building projects. Excellent work, you know. The hardest thing is they won't ride in vehicles per se. So you're paying them from the minute they leave with a horse and buggy to when they get to your place. You're paying for that. And I know with one of them, he was traveling, it took him 45 minutes, I think, just to get to our place to work on stuff. This fella up here on the left, I remember just this past Sunday, because they have church at different locations of the members, and there were close to 40 buggies here. So this fella here on the left, he makes cedar chests, and he's got a sawmill coming up on the right, and he buys the logs and saws them into what he wants for lumber to do the cedar chests. And you got this fella, he's walking to the Four Corners, because he's either going to be hopping a bus to Ohio or PA to go home for a visit, or he's hopping on what they call a community bus. The community bus just basically it stops and it picks people up in the community and takes them to the local towns where the grocery stores are and the hardware stores are. But no, if you like what you're seeing, could you please like and subscribe? Let me know what you'd like to see that maybe I'm overlooking, and from there we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.